Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Benny, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Benny's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give him while we're working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Benny's been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Benny is seated very nicely on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first exercise they're going to demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash. And Fred and Benny take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Benny heel, and then just start walking and Benny will fall right in line on your left-hand side. And we've also incorporated an automatic sit into this, as you see right there. Anytime Fred stops his feet, Benny will sit. There's another automatic sit. It's important that Benny walks at your pace, which is comfortable for you on your left-hand side. He shouldn't pull ahead or lag behind. He's been trained to walk nicely at your pace. The next exercise they're going to demonstrate for you is a stay command. Stay is a hand and voice command. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm an inch or so from Benny's muzzle, and the one-word command to stay. Okay. He then walks out to the end of the training leash. It's a great exercise to help build up self-control in Benny. You want to start practicing this one at about a minute and work your way up in increments to about 3 minutes. And when Fred returns back to Benny, he's going to walk all the way around him, providing an added distraction as he goes behind him, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Benny remains seated throughout. Fred gave him a little praise, and they take off heeling again. I'm going to show you a little more of the heel, the sit, and the stay. Got him in the sit and gives him the stay again, and back out to the end of the training leash. And this time, instead of returning back, he'll demonstrate the come or recall command. You call him in using his name, he comes in, sits right in front of you, and then we have an exercise called the finish, where Benny heels around the back and right back to that left hand side and sits nicely. We'll demonstrate that one more time and leave him in the sit stay, out to the end of the training leash. Fred calls him in, he comes in, sits in front. And then the finish, where he heels around the back and right back to your left-hand side. Nicely done. He gets a little praise, and they take off heeling again. It's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands about 15 to 20 minutes a day. You can practice inside or outside your home and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine. It helps to keep the commands fresh in Benny's mind. Now we're going to show you our down commands. The first will be down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down towards the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He then gives Benny a stay and walks out to the end of the training leash. It's another great exercise to build up self-control in Benny. You want to start this one at about 3 minutes and work your way up in increments to about 5. And when Fred returns back to Benny, he's going to walk all the way around him as he did on the sit stay and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Benny remains down throughout. Fred gives him a little praise and they take off heeling again. We'll show you that down command one more time. He gives him a stay, back out to the end of the training leash. And this time, instead of returning back, he'll demonstrate that come or recall command right out of the down. Call Benny in, he comes in, sits in front. And then the finish, where he'll heel around the back and right back to your left-hand side heel position. Alright, we'll give them a second to get lined up for our final command, which is down from a distance. As you can see, Benny's doing all his commands beautifully, but if for any reason he doesn't obey one of your commands, the first word out of your mouth should be no, followed by a tug and let go correction, and then you repeat the command. Okay. This will be down from a distance. Fred's going to leave him in a sit stay, walk out to the end of the training leash. This is the only time you want to use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop Benny into a down. Excellent job. He then returns back to him once again by walking all the way around and right back to your left-hand side heel position. Alright, we've demonstrated for you the obedience commands that Benny has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Benny, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.